Welcome, everyone, wherever you're joining us from around the world. Welcome to Diabetes Total Lifestyle Change, DTLC Season 13, Week 1. We are very, very much delighted to have you with us today as we begin another exciting week of learning, growth, and empowerment. Let me start with this important fact. Well, did you know that millions of people living with diabetes spend less than only 1% with their healthcare professional, and more than 99% of their time managing diabetes just on their own? That is why diabetes education is so important. The more you understand your condition, the more confident and successful you will be in managing it. And that is why we want to congratulate you for being here today. By joining DTLC, you have chosen to invest in yourself and in your health. You have taken an important step beyond the brief moments spent with healthcare professionals and committed time to learning the knowledge and skills that will help you make better decisions every day. You know, your presence here tells us something, that you are not leaving your health to chance. You are dedicated. You have chosen to become an active participant in your diabetes journey. And that decision alone puts you on a path toward greater confidence, better control, and a healthier future. A wise saying reminds us that the future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow, today. So before we begin, we would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to everyone who joined us here during our launching session, and to those who have continued to support DTLC by subscribing to our YouTube channel and sharing our content with others. We are especially grateful to those joining us from outside Kenya and from different parts of the world. Your trust and commitment to learning alongside us have truly, truly touched us. Knowing that people from different countries are taking this journey with us motivates us to give you the very best over the next 12 weeks. So tonight, we start with a powerful and thought-provoking topic: toxic habits and your why. Are your daily choices moving you closer to health goals or holding you back? Well, this evening, we'll explore how to identify these habits and that are actually limiting our progress, and discover how a clear sense of purpose can become our foundation. And to guide us through today's sessions, we are privileged to be joined by Dr. Ojwang, a registered dietitian and a researcher. She is also the visionary behind DTLC program, together with Ms. Jalang'o, our diabetes care specialist and our family doctor. We are certainly in good hands today. So to start us off, what can DTLC do for you? Well, I think this would be best answered straight from the horse's mouth, the people behind this program, Dr. Jalang'o. Ms. Jalang'o Atieno, would you kindly tell us briefly, what can DTLC do to the people in our audience? Many of them are living with diabetes type 1, type 2. Many others are here to just gain the knowledge. So, Dr. Jalang'o, what can DTLC do for us?
Thank you very much, Lydia. DTLC has a lot to offer you. I take this opportunity to thank those who attended the launch last week and to welcome the new ones to Diabetes Total Lifestyle Change Program. We invite you into a journey that goes beyond information to your transformation. So DTLC is designed to equip you with the practical, sustainable knowledge and tools that improve your health, help you prevent complications, and most importantly, to live life fully. So why invest your time and effort, One, you're going to gain practical skills essential for blood sugar management and also for your blood pressure control. Then the other thing that we really focus on is natural health doctors, you know. They're the natural doctors that exist freely, and sometimes we ignore them. They have a great impact on your health. So we will walk one by one through the natural doctors and guide you towards sustainable, healthy habits. The other thing is we have exercises that you will need to participate in as an individual and also as a group that often will improve your energy levels, that will improve your weight and your overall well-being. And why are we doing this? If we get the numbers right, then your risk for developing diabetes complication is low. Then, the other important aspect of this program is you interact with peers, other people who are living with diabetes, and therefore you can receive support from your peers through our WhatsApp channel and also from our experts within the program. So at DTLC, we are not just looking at the short term. We are empowering you for long-term lifestyle change. And the most important thing is when you are equipped with the knowledge and the skills, you have the confidence to navigate the road ahead. So this is a 12-week journey of small steps, big and eventually for big gains. So welcome once again. And over to you, Lydia.
Thank you. That is well said. Dr. Ojwang would like to add something?
Not really to add, but I wanted to ask Dr. Jalang'o. There are many people
Yes.
who just sending me messages saying, please, can you give me a diet? Can you give me a diet? Why is it that we don't give diets in DTLC program?
We don't give diets because diets often don't work and they are often limited in terms of their impact and often they're not sustainable. The most important thing is to learn the principles of healthy eating that you can apply within your home and within any situation that you are in. Once you know the principles, it doesn't matter whether you're at home, whether you're at work, or you're in a hotel, there is always something that you can eat safely. So, no quick fixes. Yeah, just learning the principles and then eventually applying them for great outcomes.
Yeah. And I think most people always want the easy way out. You know, they just want the easy way, but it's not going to help you. If you don't know what is a normal blood sugar, you don't know your numbers, you don't know how the food affects your blood sugars, then we just give you a diet. It's not going to help, you know. So the best is to learn so that you have super confidence on how to manage your diabetes and also be able to help somebody else and help them because you have accurate information and you're not going to hurt them. So the other thing is people are also asking that, oh, is it only people with diabetes are going to benefit from this program? What can you say that, Dr. Jalang'o?
No. What we've seen in this program, and I'm not talking just from, let's say, research alone, what we have seen in this program over the past 4 years, the benefit is not just for people with diabetes. We've seen people improving their blood pressure, others even going off blood pressure medicine. People with diabetes, some have gone into remission. We have seen cancer remission. We've had 2 patients with cancer remission while going through the program. One of the things we never focus on is weight, but somehow people just lose weight. And then we've also seen remission with arthritis and systemic lupus erythematosus. So the benefits of healthy living go far beyond just glucose and pressure management. It is to almost all facets of chronic diseases. So the benefits are beyond the sugars themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, so many people can benefit. So you're like Dr. Jalang'o has said, and we're talking about natural doctors. There'll be about 6 sessions about nutrition, 3, 4 sessions about diabetes itself, and then some other sessions on lifestyle. So anybody can benefit. As much as we're talking about diabetes, anybody else can benefit and anybody else can learn, because there's somebody, your auntie, your uncle, a friend that has diabetes. And we also want to prevent diabetes. So yeah, thank you. Over to you, Lydia.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Well said by the visions, the people who are behind this program. They've been here for a while. They're talking about things that they've seen happen. So please, we ask you that you pick up this worthwhile course. You will truly, truly benefit. All right. So we move on to our main topic this evening. One of it, we'll start with toxic habits. Are they really bringing us, taking us aback? We really need to hear from Dr. How can we identify our toxic habits? So Dr. Ojwang, we are eager to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lydia. Good evening. I'm thinking that what is your why should come first, Lydia. What do you think?
All right, all right.
Yeah, because we know what is your why, and then now we go to identify toxic habits. Huh?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So good evening, everybody watching from somewhere in the world. Thank you for being here. We enjoy being here with you. We enjoy talking to people about your health. And over the years, we have already helped so many people. And the reason we are here is because we want to talk about prevention. We really don't want you to take all this medication. Somebody can be taking this medication in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. We don't want you to get here. We don't want you to get sick. We don't want you to have a heart attack. We don't want you to develop complications for uncontrolled blood pressure or uncontrolled blood sugar. But so now let's go. What is your why? Why are you joining this program? I would really appreciate if you could just put 1 or 2 comments on the chat, or you can just open your mic and speak. And please note that we are streaming these sessions live on YouTube and on Facebook. So we are streaming them live. So if you don't want your name to be known fully, please put it as an initial so that nobody knows who you are if you want to keep your identity. Yes. So what is your why? Why are you in this program? Why are you interested in this program? Yeah, I'll appreciate 1 or 2 comments, or just raise your hand or post it on the chat. What is your why? Why are you here? Thank you very much. Yes, what is your why? Are you here to control your blood sugar, put your blood sugar in remission, lose weight, improve control of your blood pressure? Why are you here? 1. No one's talking to me. Lee, Ramat, why are you here? KS, yes, sustainably manage my weight, manage my sugar and blood pressure. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. SN, yes. Anybody else wants to share why they're here? Okay, thank you so much. So many times, of course, we have reasons. We have reasons, and the reason is really to put diabetes in remission, control blood sugar, and to lose weight. These are very, very good reasons. But we also want to think about our goals. What is your age? What is your health? What's coming to you in 5 years? Can we prevent it? So it's not just, you shouldn't just think about now, but you should think about the future. So yes, if you come and we've helped you manage your blood pressure, manage your cholesterol, then what? Okay, so it still is, your why should only not be temporary. It needs to be long term. It needs to be 5 years from now. It needs to be 10 years from now. So after losing the weight, then of course, we want to maintain it. But you realize so many times people actually want to lose weight. People want to control blood sugar. People want to live healthy, and people want to just to learn. But then we fail. Why do you think we fail? And I'll also ask my colleagues to help me with that. Dr. Jalang'o, Lydia, why do people fail? Everybody wants. Anybody who has a chronic condition, they want to do something about their health. But most of the time we fail, and then we still end up with complications, and we end up taking so many medications. Why do you think people fail? Lydia, you can tell us any comments on Facebook, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lydia, why do you think people fail?
Really, it's sometimes it's due to motivation. This is 12 weeks long, about 3 months, eh? So along the way, sometimes we catch on to the good habits early, and by the time we are getting to week 9, the motivation is starting to go low because we feel like we can handle this, we know this. So with time, motivation can make us fail.
Okay, very good. Low motivation can make us fail, yeah? But also why people actually sometimes fail and not achieve, and majority actually don't. There are statistics that says half of the people living with type 2 diabetes have not been diagnosed. Half of the people with type 2 diabetes that have been diagnosed will get complications, or half of those people are not getting appropriate treatment. So sometimes there's lack of motivation, like Lydia has helped us see. There is lack of knowledge on how to manage your condition, and even when you go to see the doctors, you go to see a health professional, you don't ask questions, and so you don't get information. And then also sometimes we just follow the crowd. We are just doing. Some people are here because, oh, it's free, let me join it. Sometimes we don't believe in ourselves. Lack of belief. You don't believe in yourself. You don't like, okay, I have diabetes, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Then you stop there. And then lack of planning. And then also sometimes your goals are not clearly defined. So you're not sure, yes, I have diabetes, but what should be my goal? We know clearly your goals should be is it to control it, to reverse it? What is it? So we want to be clear. So if you want to know your why, what is your why? You have to think about it. What is my why? Why am I here? If I'm living with diabetes, what are my goals? If I have living with blood pressure, what are my goals? If I want to lose weight, what are my goals? If I'm sick or I just want to learn, what are my goals? Why do I want to learn? What do I want to learn? So it is very important for us to really define these goals and to define what we really want so that we avoid failure. But let me surprise you. When it comes to what is your why, I'm just going to quickly show this slide here. It's called the wheel of behavior change. There are just 3 things, okay? And so I'll just share it briefly and then I'll stop. Okay, Lydia, can you see it?
Coming. Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So you can see 2 or 1?
2.
Okay, let me stop that. Sorry about that. Yeah, so, okay. So we have this wheel of behavior change. So most of the things that we have said is actually just outcomes. What it means is that when you say, I want to lose weight, I want to control blood sugar, I want to do this, you're just here. And that means you're just in the surface. This is just the surface. You're just here. All right. So it's not bad. It's a good start. It can still do something. However, what we want to do is we want to change our processes and identity. So what does it mean, processes? So we want to learn, and this is where we say we cannot just give you, we cannot give you a diet because you haven't learned. That diet, their processes. You need to know your portions. You need to learn about carbohydrate intelligence. You need to learn many, many things about it. So there's no way you can just get a diet. You have to learn it. So I want you to write down these 3 things so that when I'm explaining, you can understand. So when it comes to goals, for you to achieve, we have to be able to get to identity. So yes, we start with the outcomes, then we go to processes, then we go to identity. So what happens when it comes to outcomes? Outcomes, I've said, it's just about you. It's just about what you want. It's just about your goals, okay? It's not about anything else. I just want my goals. But remember, for you to achieve that goal, you have to be able to do something. And what is this something? It means that you have to take action. You have to take action, and this action has to be, what are some of the things you're going to learn? Some of these actions will include changing how you eat. And some of the things we've advised, you need to eat more food in the morning and less in the evening. You have to change your exercise habits. You can't just sit the whole day. You need to be able to train yourself to walk and to be able to achieve so many steps. Either your goal is 5,000 steps, you can start with that. When you get to 5,000 steps, you can be able to go to 10,000 steps and you can start training yourself to learn, okay? So you have to change your processes. Also, things like you have to plan. If you're going to eat healthy, it means you have to think about, what am I buying next week? What am I cooking for the family? How much do I need to cook? And you have to learn, are we eating healthy? And this is where we're asking you to send your plates of food so that we'll be able to use those plates of food to be able to educate you. So I hope you understand. So you're changing your processes. You're changing how you do things. And that's processes. And now let's go on to the last part, which is being able to change your identity. Okay? Your identity is the last one. So changing your identity means that it's the deepest layer. It means you have to change your beliefs. Right now, there are people who think that there is no way I can eat breakfast like a king. I'm used to just taking tea and I go, or taking nothing and I go. But with education, you can be able to change that belief system. Then also your image, you see, you have to believe that if you do this, if you do some of the actions we are going to ask, if you take the actions we're going to ask you to take, then you will be able to lose weight. But weight loss will be a reward of your good habits. Better blood sugar control will be rewards of your good habits. So we are not putting you on a diabetic diet, on a weight loss diet, but we are helping you to learn and be able to apply these things. So let me go back to summary. When we want to be successful, we have 3 goals. So we have outcomes, which is the surface, which you're just telling yourself, I want to put diabetes in remission, I want to lose weight, I want to manage my blood pressure. That is just the outcomes. So the outcome. But for you to even do better and change your behavior for life, we have to improve our processes. And these processes involves, like we've said, changing habits and changing your systems, implementing a new routine, like walking 3 times a week, walking every day, learning to eat like a king for breakfast and a princess for lunch and a pauper for dinner, learning to eat 2 meals, okay? And most habits are associated with this level. This is where we have habits that we have to change, and then we will be very successful. And then the last one is the deepest layer, which is identity. You change your belief system. You see, you can eat meat for breakfast. You can sleep on just vegetables. You can take water. You can, you can stop taking all the junk food and all the sugar, and you can only take it occasionally. So this is just being able to learn and apply and be very, very confident. So what we always want to ask ourselves is, where am I headed? There's an arrow going this way, okay? Are you getting worse or are you getting better? So in between here, there is something you have to do for you to prevent you from getting worse and for you to just get better. Okay? So this is what I want to leave you with. Remember, the outcomes is not enough. You have to learn the new processes. You have to have a new identity. And so what I want you to ask yourself is, who do I want to become? Who do I want to become? Not just what I want to achieve. What you want to achieve, remember, is the surface. Who do I want to become for myself and for my family? So you want to be able to align your daily habits with your identity, And so every task we give you, every challenge we give you, then you want to take up that challenge. And so, in summary, remember this: genes load the gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. So, over to you, Lydia, and I'm happy to take some questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. That was powerful. If your goal is you're here to get help to put diabetes into remission, that's an outcome. That's not a why. Why goes deeper, changing your processes. All right, so we can take the questions.
So any questions, any comments?
Feel free to type in the chat.
You can check on YouTube and Facebook if there's any question.
No, there's none.
Yeah. But now that we're not talking, so how do I know whether you've understood or not? I'd like to know if you've understood. Yes. Did I see a question pop in the chat? So how do you eat for better outcomes? Okay, very good, SM. Thank you for the question. How do you eat for better outcomes? So we are going to remember it's a 12-week program. So every week we are going to give you something to do. And in session from next week or the third week, now we are going to put you on a program. We're going to tell you the portions, okay? But how to start eating for better outcomes? Some of them we're going to discuss just now, which is under identifying your toxic habits and being able to make changes. So we'll answer that question shortly. Thank you for the question. Yeah. Any other questions?
Seems like there's no other.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's hand is up.
Right.
Yes, for sure. Go ahead, please. Ask to unmute, Lydia.
It's actually open. That's all right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. I would like to, maybe you can just repeat your explanation on the process and the identity. They seem to be very close. I kind of got, I didn't understand it very well, the processes and the identity in connection with the why.
Okay. So
Yes,
what
please.
but you understand, thank you so much. That's a very good question. So what is your why means, why are you here? Okay? As much as we are here, the reasons we are here is because we have goals, we have health goals, and we want to be able to lose weight, improve blood glucose control, put diabetes in remission, and many other reasons why people are here. So that is good, but that is just an outcome-based goal. But remember, we want you to think long term. What's going to happen 5 years from now? If you just want to lose diabetes, you just want to lose weight, control diabetes, okay, control blood pressure, what is going to happen 5 years from now? So for you to be able to achieve your goal now and also have long success and be successful, then we have to think about the processes, the inner, what is the depth, what do you need to do? So processes are things you will do, the changes you will make, because you have to learn. So you are going to consistently start exercising. You are going to consistently, plan to eat healthy, go and buy those meals and consistently do that. Learn your portions, ask questions, be active in the program. So processes are what you do. Then identity is the belief, who you wish to become. Who are you going to be? Like you've already changed your belief system. You believe that we are not even fighting with you anymore. Sometimes when we start, we tell you, eat animal, do not eat meat at night because it is bad for your blood pressure. It's bad for your quality of your sleep. And then people are like, no, I can't do that. But once you learn and you go through this program, then you will appreciate it. Then it becomes part of your identity. The person I wish to become is the one who monitors their blood sugar, eats healthy 80% of the time. Occasionally, you are human, you're realistic, and you can do other things. So do I answer your question? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. Okay. Does Dr. Tino, did you like to add something? Or you good?
No, I'm good. I'm good. You did a good job on that one.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Over
So
to you,
thank you so
Lydia.
much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So we move on to our second topic, identifying toxic habits. Do we have some toxic habits that are actually limiting us, dragging us behind, not making us achieve our goals? Would you like to identify them? How can we do this? So Dr. Ojwang, we
Again.
looking forward to this one.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you. So now now you already have goals. So where we are heading now is we want to now start doing something about our health so that we can now start to achieve these goals. And I've done this for 27 years. I think Dr. Jalang'o has done it longer because she was mentoring me when I was a new graduate from the university. She is the one who helped me to like diabetes because we can make a difference. So I can promise you, 27 years of practice, I have dealt with many people. If you do, as we say, you will have better control. You will have a better health and you will actually improve your diabetes. Not everybody puts it into remission, but a good percentage does. And a lot of people have been able to achieve that. So it is action. So Lydia, I think at the end of this, you're going to give a challenge. We have challenges to give, yeah? So toxic habits, I want to make it very easy for you. I want you to write down this abbreviation. F, let me even type it here, FREEESE. Okay? And that's what we are going to concentrate on, just for you to understand. So what is your toxic habit? So we want to identify your toxic habit, but in the process, we are also going to help you to actually be able to learn what you can do better. So F is the one that stands for what free, you need to be free of toxins and toxic habits. So you want to identify, what are my toxic habits? What are my toxic habits? Toxic habits can include you are not eating healthy and you know it, and many people know what eating healthy actually means, okay? You're not eating healthy. You are not sleeping. So we have 24 hours in a day. So 8 is for sleeping, 8 is for working, and the other 8 are extras. But then you find that you're working 20 hours and you're sleeping 4 hours. That is not a balance. Some toxic habits can be also you're not drinking water, and you know you need to drink water, especially if you're taking medication like this and you're not drinking water. It means that you can actually end up with a kidney problem because some of these drugs are excreted by your kidney, and so you need to take enough water. So what we are telling you with this F is what are your toxic habits? And then also, what toxins do you consume? Some of us have got some things that we need to change. Do you take too much salt? Do you take a lot of alcohol? Do you smoke? Do you take a lot of sugar in your diet? Are you a carbohydrate junkie that you take so much carbohydrates in your diet? What are you consuming that you know is bad for you? Or what are you consuming in excess that you know is not good for your health? So that is F. I will repeat. Identify your toxic habits and identify the toxins that you consume. Then we have R. R is rehydration. So how much water do you take? If I ask you how many glasses of water you need to take, everybody's going to say 8 glasses. But you know, that's not it. You can be 60 kilos, somebody's 100. Can we be taking the same amount of water? Not at all. I can even see Dr. Tino shaking her head. So you need to calculate, okay? So it's usually 35 ml times your weight. 35 ml times your weight in kilograms. So in other words, if somebody is 100 kilos, then times that weight, then it means they are going to be taking 3.5 liters. So calculate. And then this water, you're supposed to distribute it through the day. You're not supposed to wake up and have 5 glasses and then in the evening have 5 glasses. That can also be very dangerous. So we need to hydrate because when you don't take enough water, you are actually very tired and fatigued. It interferes with your hunger signals. When you're dehydrated, your hunger signals are like very high. So you think you're very hungry, so you eat a lot of food. When you're dehydrated, it interferes with your circadian rhythm. You can stay in bed and you're trying to sleep and you're not sleeping. Hydration status, poor hydration. Of course, hydration is also, when you take water, it's good for circulation. So when you don't take enough water, problems with circulation, problems with your joints. Water is a lubricant. So when you don't take enough. So are you taking enough water? So we want to start training ourselves. If you've not been taking enough water, start training yourself. Start taking that. If you've been taking 4 glasses instead of more, start by increasing by 2 glasses, take a week, then increase. Like train yourself. Don't go on it like don't go with the bang, all right? And then the first E. The first E is eating healthy. What does eating healthy involve? And remember, we are going to have several topics on nutrition. What does eating healthy involve? Eating healthy involves many things. Number one is you need to be able to eat a variety of food. We have so many types of variety. We have variety of vegetables, variety of starches, variety of fruits, variety of proteins. So we shouldn't eat the same thing day in, day out. Unfortunately, that's what many people do. You're either just eating ugali, sukuma wiki, and cabbage, or you are eating rice, beef, and, and some green vegetables every day. No, we need to eat a variety. And as we go on, we are going to share with you a chart that you can be able to use, record your food, and then we can be able to identify, are we eating? But a simple way to find out is every week, find out what have you eaten. At least if you eat 3 types of vegetables, that would be good. 3 types of starches or 3 types of protein in a week, or 3 types of fruit. That would be a good start. So start assessing how you're eating. Then the second one in eating healthy is also the timing of meals. When do you need to eat more food and when you need to eat less food. Many people work the whole day, you need more energy, but you work the whole day on nothing. Then you go home and eat a huge meal for dinner. Do you think that's good? If you reason logically, you need to eat more food in the morning and less food in the evening. You're going to sleep, so you don't need a lot of food. All right? And then the third is also you want to eat as natural as possible. So identify what you're eating. Are you eating processed foods or are you eating natural? We want to always eat as natural as possible. Remember, Jehovah God created the food and created your body. So what man has made, that is the problem because it's refined. So if you're eating a lot of refined foods, then we have a problem. So that's what I can say about eating healthy for now until later. So I'll just repeat, eating healthy involves eating a variety. Timing of meals, you need to eat more food in the morning and less food in the evening because naturally you're going to sleep. You don't need the energy. And then you want to also be able to eat as natural food as possible. Okay? If you can start thinking about those three and start making changes, that is a very good start. And then the second E is exercise. One of the things I like to use is as old as 1573 by Earl of Derby. If you can't make time for exercise, be ready to make time for illness. That's your favorite quote, And I always add, and use all your hard-earned money to pay your medical bills. Because what happens? We have 24 hours. We work, we get home. You're not even having time to exercise. So if you don't make time for exercise, you be ready to make time for illness. Because just being able to walk 30 minutes a day to 1 hour can prevent you from so many conditions, can help you lose weight, have better sleep, have better relationships because you produce the endorphins or the good endorphins, the good hormones. So are you exercising? Do you have an exercise plan? Start walking. You don't need to join the gym. You don't need to join the gym. All right? Start walking, start stretching, start doing something. So exercise is very important. And some of these things we'll talk about in there. We'll have a whole session on exercise and fitness. And the third E is eat healthy. We've talked about eat healthy, exercise, enough rest. So if you don't sleep, then you're never rejuvenating yourself. You're very tired in the morning. And imagine you're not sleeping. How can we control blood pressure? How can we improve better control of diabetes? How can we lose weight? How can we be healthy if we don't sleep? Sleeping is a natural doctor. So one of the things that you want to do to make sure you sleep better, avoid animal protein at night because it's digested for 6 to 7 hours and it affects the quality of your sleep. Secondly, it increases what you call glomerular filtration rate. So your kidney is working hard at night. Your kidney controls your blood pressure. So it means you have a raised blood pressure or overworked kidney when you're supposed to be resting. So please avoid animal protein at night for especially those reasons. Sometimes people ask us, provide the evidence. Yes, we shall. We actually work with evidence. We use evidence-based nutrition education. Then the first S there stands for stress management. When you're stressed, you need to manage the stress. When you're stressed, you produce stress hormones that can actually worsen your diabetes, worsen your blood pressure, and just worsen the situation. And we have a psychologist who will be talking about how stress affects your health in the later sessions. So stress should be managed. Don't try to manage it alone. It always worsens the conditions. Then the second S is sexual health. When you're married, your sexual health, you start to have a problem with your sexual health, you don't ignore it. You have got to talk to your doctor because some of these things like erectile dysfunction is always a warning sign for a heart attack waiting to happen. So you can't ignore that. Also for women, sexual libido no libido and all these problems, it's an indication of a problem waiting to happen, a big, big problem. So you can't ignore, because these are natural doctors, and when they're not functioning properly, they need to be checked. And the last but not least is E, enjoy. So in this session, we're not going to tell you boil your food, and do this and do that. We want everything we do here is realistic and sustainable. You can enjoy your food. You can add oil to your food. You can add your spices to your food. It's always going to be how much. And of course, this is why we say there's a lot of learning to do, and you need to be here for every session, and you need to watch, and then you can give us your questions. So now I just want to summarize some of the things that, so I've done the freeze. So one of the other things I want you to write down is natures, So what are some of the things that's going to help you? So natural doctors are pillars of health. So natural food, whole and healthy nutrition, like we said, activity of movement, this is a natural doctor, sunshine, okay? Time in the sun and fresh air. Most of the time we wake up early, we go to the office. Then we leave late because you're avoiding traffic or you want to be efficient. But remember, sunshine is a natural doctor. So if you're not getting any time in the sun and getting fresh air, that's a problem. In fact, right now, it's been found that many people in this country, everywhere in the world, are suffering from vitamin D deficiency. Why? Dr. Jalang'o, you can mention that. Then we want to have uninterrupted sleep so that you can restore, restorative rest that is going to help you rejuvenate. And we want to have good relationships, okay? Connections and community. We have a whole session towards the end, which is about relationships and how they actually affect your health. Stay tuned for that. And of course, emotional and sexual health, intimacy and well-being. These are also natural doctor. And last but not least, safe water and hydration. These are natural doctors. So are you doing this? Thank you. So what I can say is, remember, lifestyle medicine is the key to your health, and natural doctors count. Don't forget the natural doctors. Thank you very much.
Well,
Dr.
thank
Chino,
you
do
so
you want to
much.
add something? Here you go.
Yeah, thank you, Alice, for taking us through the toxic habits and the natural doctors. I probably will add something around the natural doctors. Most of the things that impact our health very, very extensively are these things: the sun, the food, what we put into our bodies, whether we move our bodies or not. And we often do not take this for granted. We live in a society where we're looking for quick fix. A lot of these things we need to instill in our children if they're still young, or tell if your children are adult, let them instill them in your grandchildren. The habits that we are struggling to change now can actually be instilled in the younger people that we care for. And if we do this early, we can actually change the landscape of chronic diseases. We are seeing a lot of chronic diseases. Why? People are eating a lot of artificial foods, things like soda. What is, apart from sugar, which is natural, but is not also good for your health, what else is good in soda? Everything else is a chemical. But these are the things that we like taking. The crisps, and they have their what do you call them? Those colorants, E66, what? I don't know. And those artificial flavors. Your body gets shocked when it encounters these things. And what happens when your body gets shocked? It produces cortisol to calm the shock. Unfortunately, cortisol is not a substance that you want it always high. It's only good when you are in flight fright mode. And so it's not good for you to expose yourself to a lot of these things. So ensure you drink safe water as well as good food. Many of us like going to disco, instead of sleeping. You know, your body works on a rhythm. And if you disobey the rhythm, you don't give it restorative rest at night, then you are in trouble. You cause a lot of problems with cell division and expose yourself to a lot of risk. Then the big factor, the kind of relationships that we have. Sometimes you have diabetes being precipitated by the tension you have in your house, and these things are not often addressed, and they are very, very critical. So as we go through the program, these are some of the things that we will be looking into with great detail. And it is my hope that we will listen keenly, but most importantly is to take action. It doesn't matter whether you listen and hear the best of things. When that action doesn't occur at a personal level, then nothing changes. And what a disaster that can be in 5 years, 10 years. And many of these things are free. It is extremely cheap to have sun that protects you, gives you vitamin D, raises your vitamin D, which boosts your immunity. But many of us don't go into the sun, or we go there covered. So we need to expose ourselves to the sun at least about 1.5 hours or more. So let us listen keenly, but most importantly, let us try and change. Try and change. And if you experience any challenges in your change process, kindly voice it. Kindly voice it either in the groups, or you can let our program administrator, that's Lydian, know, and then she would be able to guide you to the right expert to help you. So over to you, Lydia.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. That was practical, we have to say. Yeah, so we appreciate the guidance, the real life strategies you people have experienced. So we know you're saying it right from the heart. We trust that also everyone who's joining us here today, whether on social media or here, they've learned something valuable. So we can now take a few comments, questions. Would you like to tell us your toxic habit? Are you still thinking about it? Would you like to share with us? We'd like to hear from you now. Feel free. You can unmute, you can
Thank you
type.
for that. Thank you for that, Lydia. So, yeah, good idea. Can you share with us, what do you think your toxic habit is? As for me, I think what I need to keep working on is my salt intake, my friends. I've been a dietitian for 27 years, and that's a struggle. It's a struggle. So I still have something to work on. So I'm still working on my salt intake, So what is your toxic habit? What do you think you need to work on? So please share with us what you think you need to work on. Because also when you share, then this is some of the things we use to provide information, because then we know what you're dealing with. Yeah, to increase water intake. Thank you, Mama. So we all have something to work on. Dr. Jalang'o, what are you working on? And Lydia,
Sleeping
what are you working on?
hours. That's been a big
Sleeping.
sleeping.
Sleeping
Yeah,
on
I'm
time.
averaging 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
I think
I
I should
see.
be doing more.
Yeah, you'll do better. RO is consuming too much starch and process. You will enjoy the session on carbohydrate intelligence, which is week 4, and we hope that it will help you. Insufficient sleep, yes, and eating late, yes. So that's a toxic habit. Yeah, very bad. But we are all a work in progress. We are
Yes.
all a work in progress. So it's okay. We need to keep working. And this is why we are here. If all of us knew what to do, then we wouldn't need a dietitian, a doctor, yeah. Yes. So thank you for sharing, and keep sharing it. Okay. So do we have any question for us before we end the session? We just got 6 minutes to end it. Any question or any comment, feel free to talk. Who wants to say something? We also have past champions of DTLC. I've seen them here. I wonder if they'd like to say something. Only if possible, no pressure on anybody. Yeah.
Probably I could just mention something. One of the other
Please.
things that really sometimes derails people in the change process. Change will only occur when you're ready to change. It's a psychological process, you know. So one of the things is to assess whether you are ready to change or not. So you can draw a rule, a straight line with from 0 to 10, and then with a number 5 in the middle. And think critically. Are you really ready here? You're here and ready to change or not? Then score yourself. So if anything below 5, you're probably not ready to change. So you could just go through the project, but keep checking. And it would be good to verbalize so that we can even check in with you every so often, because change is a process. One of the most important things that will lead you to change is an acceptance of your diagnosis. If you've still not yet accepted your diagnosis, then it's a bit serious. And often those who have been recently diagnosed, within 1 year, if you have not settled into your diagnosis, then it will be difficult to change. So if you are here today and you still do not believe you have diabetes. Yes, there are people who are swallowing their medicine and they're still not believing. I've seen so many throughout the over 20 years I've been in diabetes practice, and that often becomes a big challenge to change. So it's important to verbalize this if you are still having problems accepting. But if it's been over 1 year, then that is a real problem and you need psychosocial help. So reach out. There's a
Thank you very
question.
much. Yes, I see a question. Can all liquids be the same as water? Please. You even know the answer, my friend. Water is water, and water is pure. And when you drink it as is, the body will use it as is to perform several functions, like we said earlier, including circulation, distribution, lubrication, and many others. But when you take, like lemonade, it has water, but it also has acid. So the body has to, first of all, remove the solute from the solvent. You get, remove the acid, like separate the two and then get the water. So it's not. So juices are not water. So anything else they have acid, they have chemicals, or they have sugar, it's not water. So when we talk about water, we're talking about natural quality water. It can be cold or it can be warm. Question: is kombucha good for diabetes? So kombucha is actually good, but people make kombucha differently. Kombucha is made from sugar, and sometimes we put in a lot of sugar, So then you're taking sugar. But I suggest once we go through carbohydrate intelligence, then we can also be able to now learn how to use things like this, kombucha, and even herbs. But we want to use them, we want to learn about them last after we do the natural doctors and we see what happens to your blood sugars. So good question. We are keeping count and we are keeping them to make sure that they're all answered. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Over to you, Lydia.
All right. So before we conclude, one of the things that makes DTLC different is that we just don't learn. We also take action. So each week, we are going to have a simple challenge to help us put what we have learned into practice. So Dr. Ojwang, we are eager to receive our challenge for this week.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. So challenge number 1 this week is identify your toxic habits and identify your toxins. What are your toxic habits? What are your toxins that you consume? We all know what they are. So identify them, think about them. How do these things affect my health now? How will it affect my health in the future? Okay? And then next week, tell us about it. Okay, toxin number 2 is apply the freeze. You've already learned a lot. Apply the freeze and apply natural doctor. So start getting sunshine, start moving, okay? Lydia shared out a short survey, and if you're able to fill the survey, then you can join the WhatsApp group where we are providing even more support. So apply this, apply the natural doctors. Just start applying the natural doctors, one at a time. Thank you, Lydia. I hope it's clear.
It is. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Alice Ojwang, Ms. Jalang'o, for sharing that wealth of knowledge with us. It has been an encouraging session, and we hope that today's session has helped you to reflect on your habits, connect with your reason for wanting better health. Well, that marks the end of today's session. Thank you so much for your participation, for talking to us, for your comments. We really appreciate that. So you want to remember that diabetes management is not about being perfect. It's about making small changes every day. It might seem small, but with time, these choices add up to better sugar control, more energy, weight loss, fewer complications, and greater confidence in managing diabetes. We also want to let you know that DTLC is more than a weekly Zoom or YouTube session. We have created a supportive community to help you put what you learn into practice. Like Dr. Ojwang has actually mentioned, we have additional support through a WhatsApp group where members share their meal pictures, they ask questions, they get to encourage one another, and with time, our nutrition team will also provide guidance on food choices. Apart from that, we have a walking group. Have you ever wanted to do some exercise with a partner for motivation's sake? Well, we have that. We are using an app to track your daily steps, and this app automatically records your activity throughout the day. So we shall be sharing the step count every morning in order to celebrate our achievements and to encourage one another and to keep us motivated as well. So if you'd like to join the WhatsApp group, simply reach out to us and we'll send you the group link. For this week's challenge, we do encourage you to take it up. Just keep it simple, keep it realistic, because what we need is consistency. And finally, we need to remember that our diagnosis, which is diabetes or any other condition, is not our destiny. Every healthy choice you make is actually an investment in your future. So thank you so much for spending time with us. We look forward to seeing you again next week for another exciting DTLC session. Until then, goodbye, and we see you again next week.